Welcome everyone to another startup and automobile documentation. What we have here is a 2014 Hyundai Sonata SE. This Sonata is painted in radiant silver. It does come with smart key access on the front doors. On the key fob you have the buttons for lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic. Storage on the front door panels. It does have a Dimension sound system, and you have power windows, locks, and mirrors. It has a gray interior, and SE models get a combination of cloth and leather seating surfaces. It has a fully powered driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support and a manual front passenger seat. Now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine, and it does come with push-button ignition. One of Hyundai's longest-running models is the Sonata. It competes in the mid-size sedan segment, directly rivaling mainstays like Accord and Camry. The Sonata nameplate first appeared for 1985, although the first-generation Sonata was sold only in South Korea and was basically a more luxurious version of the Hyundai Stellar. For the launch of the Sonata's second generation in '88, however, it was now a standalone model, and it was also now sold in a vast number of markets, including the US. It also switched from a rear-wheel drive to a front-wheel drive platform. Fast forward to the 2025 model year, and the Sonata is currently in its 8th generation. This 2014 model represents the 6th generation of the Sonata, codenamed YF, which was produced in the US market for model years 2011 through 2015. The 6th Gen Sonata was the second vehicle after the 2nd Gen Tucson to utilize Hyundai's new at the time fluidic sculpture design language. Indeed, when it first came out, the 6th Gen Sonata was way more radically styled than any Sonata that had come before it. This generation also debuted an available gas-electric hybrid powertrain, which was a Sonata first. This generation's Sonata does share its platform with the 3rd generation Kia Optima. For 2014, the Sonata got some subtly revised styling elements as well as a couple of new features. Trim levels for the US market 2014 model year Sonata included GLS, SE, and Limited for regular models, and Standard and Limited for the Sonata Hybrid. The two available engines for non-hybrid models included the base 2.4-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, which was standard for all trims, and a more potent 2-liter turbo inline-4 as an option for the SE and Limited. This SE has the base 2.4-liter. The Sonata Hybrid paired up a 2.4-liter inline-4 internal combustion engine with electric motor assistance. The sole transmission for 2014 was a 6-speed automatic, and front-wheel drive was the sole drivetrain. In the instrument cluster, we have two analog gauges, your tachometer and speedometer, with your fuel and temperature gauges being digital, and you also have a digital info display in the cluster, which can be gone through via the controls on the steering wheel. Distance to empty, average fuel economy, average speed, that kind of stuff, trip computers. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped and multifunctional steering wheel. Does have sport grips. And as for controls, on this side you'll find your audio controls, your Bluetooth controls, and your voice command button. Then on this side you'll find your cruise controls, information display controls, and with this button you can toggle your steering mode. You have normal, sport, and comfort. There are also paddle shifters on the back of the spokes to manually shift the transmission, and the steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. The parking brake is foot operated. You have your electronic fuel door and trunk releases, your active eco driving mode, blind spot monitor toggle, traction control, and your panel dimmer, climate vent for the driver. On this side is your exterior lighting stock. And on this side is your wiper stock. So going down the center of the interior, your central climate vents, your touchscreen infotainment system is right here. We'll go over the system more in a bit. Then you have your physical radio / infotainment system controls with all sorts of shortcut buttons. Volume power tuning knob, hazard light switch, SD card slot, passenger airbag indicator. Below that, you have your dual zone automatic climate controls. You have your temperature for either side, fan speed dial, auto, off, defrosters, different modes, AC, dual, recirculation. You have a large storage compartment. Below that is more storage, along with two 12-volt power outlets, along with an aux port and a USB port. Entering reverse does reveal a backup camera with guidance lines. You have more storage and two cup holders, and then right here are the controls for your two-stage heated front seats. It has a two-tiered center console. The glove box is lockable. Vanity mirrors, lights, and card holders for both sun visors. Manually dimming rear view with roadside assistance. On the overhead console, you have a sunglass holder, LED reading lights, and your power sunroof controls. And there is a grab handle for the front passenger and rear passengers. Alright, and here's the infotainment system in this 2014 Sonata SE. Now, I gotta say, I was pretty surprised when I checked out this trim level, or this Sonata, because I wasn't expecting the SE trim level to have as much stuff as it does. But it has heated seats, it has navigation, a sunroof, a premium sound system. I mean, that's just awesome. And anyways, we're on the main screen now, so you have AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio streaming plus a CD player, since this car is still old enough to have one. So that's nice. Modern connectivity options. You push the sound button, or I'll just go through the different buttons on here. It doesn't really have a central home screen on the infotainment system. Basically, you get to every different menu, or just about every menu, through a button below it. But you have your info, Blue Link, Sirius XM data, so you have your local weather, sports, that kind of stuff, if you have that set up. Blue Link, you go to your eco driving, so you can see how economically you've been driving. Back to setup. Of course, your sound settings, equalizers, that kind of stuff. And then map, shortcut button right here. Of course, you have a navigation built in, which is quite nice. Points of interest, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to spend too much time going over this whole system. Then the climate button, it basically brings up your climate control status. Whatever you adjust, it'll show up on here. Then phone, repairing a phone, that kind of stuff. And then back to the radio screen. But now we'll roll down the driver's window and have a look at the engine bay. The driver's window is fully automatic. The SE trim added a set of 18-inch Hyper Silver 5 split-spoke alloy rims. Powering this SE is the Sonata's base engine for 2014, the Hyundai Kia Theta 2 2.4-liter naturally aspirated inline 4. It has an aluminum block and head along with dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, direct injection, and dual continuous variable valve timing. In SE models, horsepower is rated at 192 at 6,300 RPM, and torque is rated at 181 pound-feet at 4,250 RPM. This engine is paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission with a manual shifting mode, and power is sent solely to the front wheels. Running on regular unleaded with an 18.5-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates are 24 mpg on the city and 34 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. 4-wheel disc brakes are standard. SE models also get a Sport Tune suspension. The fuel cap is on the driver's side. Storage on the back door panels as well. Both front seats have mat pockets on the backs. Got a coat hook on this side. And you have a folding center armrest with 2 cup holders. Now as for space back here, I'm about 6'1" with the driver's seat in a pretty comfortable position for myself. Legroom is pretty good. Headroom is okay, my head's not quite hitting the roof. But I'm impressed with this Sonata SE trim level, because you get a pretty good amount of stuff. You still have the heated seats, the power driver seat, blind spot monitors, navigation, the premium sound system, a sunroof. You still get a lot of niceties, and this isn't even the highest trim level. I just think these Hyundai and Kia models from about the past 10, maybe 15 years or so, but especially like the past 10 years, I think these are really, really good used bargains, especially if you find a good one like this one that's in good shape like this one. Does have dual exhausts. The trunk of the Sonata provides 16.4 cubic feet of space. If you need more space, the back seats can be folded down as well. Of course, your 60/40 split folding back seats. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2014 Hyundai Sonata. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.